Hello and welcome to Galatta Plus. In this video review episode, we're going to be talking about Vikarnan Ashok's Mask.
Alexa, play a GV Prakash song.
Kavin and Andrea Jeremiah play around with a lot of money and black humor and old school sentiment. The mix sounds good in theory, but the film doesn't come together fully. But it does have its moments. That's a short take, a longer review follows, and it may contain spoilers.
Title sponsors: Grand Royal Tours, Anuj Styles, Darling, Mr. Gold Groundnut Oil presents Mask Movie Review by Baradwaj Rangan.
In Mask, Kavin plays Velu. The film calls him a hacker, a blackmailer, a scammer, but he's really some kind of private detective who is hired by people who want to know if their spouses are having affairs or if their daughters are doing drugs. This is the perfect part for Kavin. Velu is from the Nelson School of Characterization. He plays dumb, but he's full of surprises. Andrea Jeremiah is also well cast as Bhumi, who runs an NGO with the look of steely amusement. One of the conceits of this film is that Bhumi isn't who we think she is either. In other words, everyone wears a mask. The story wears a mask too. You think it is a black comedy with a tone derived from Aranyakandam. It turns into a Shankar movie with a flashback filled with middle-class victims. Money is at the center of this first feature by writer-director Vikarnan Ashok. GV Prakash pumps in huge shots of adrenaline with his trippy score, and the song that plays over the opening credits has this line. Naalike news flash, Moochu Vida Venum cash. Basically, everything and everyone is driven by money, from the fringe party politician wanting to make it big to the very ordinary woman who covets the jewels worn by the women in mega serials. Even the film's opening has to do with money. A large amount is stolen by men wearing M.R. Radha masks. The other real-life pop culture legend who's invoked is Ilayaraja, whose songs play non-stop. One of the funnier jokes in Mask has to do with the song Raja Raja Chorannan and the character Mohan played in the film where it appeared. The song collects Velu and Rati, played by Ruhani Sharma. The basic story has to do with Velu and Bhumi, who become enemies. I use the word loosely in order not to reveal too much about them. Had that thread been followed from Reel 1, Mask might have been a mighty entertainer. But the writing keeps taking detours about fish biryani and strawberry-flavored condoms and couples therapy and more excuses to fit in Ilayaraja's songs. By the time a character asks his wife to dance to a Ningal Kettavai number, I began to wonder if the movie was just about the cast and crew having fun for a little over 2 hours. There are many amusing bits, sure, the prize going to the look on Velu's face when he squeezes into a supermarket. But there's also the question of where all this is headed, and this is not helped by the hectic overlapping editing that keeps placing scenes from one part over lines from another part. Finally, a little into the second half, the story begins to come together and we realize that a lot of the first half was just filler, or maybe a more linear narration would have made things look more coherent. Do you understand why they chose the non-linear route? Because this allows the big reveals to come later, but this also makes the early portions look clumsy and unfocused. Mask is entertaining in parts, but its biggest problem is that it can't find a tone that can bring together all the elements and make them stick. On the one hand, you have Charlie playing a lathe factory owner and unleashing a pun on the word shooting. On the other hand, you have a young girl threatened with sex work as the brothel song from Nayagan plays in the background. The big winner for me was a superb color palette which is fabulously exploited by cinematographer R.D. Rajashekar. Mask may not always come together, but you won't be able to tear your eyes off the screen. That's it about Mask. If you like this video review, do subscribe to Galatta Plus and see you soon at the movies.
Title sponsors: Grand Royal Tours, Anuj Styles, Darling, Mr. Gold Groundnut Oil presents Mask Movie Review by Baradwaj Rangan.